Hi, my name is Thomas Wang, and today I'm here to talk about the process of how to stop playing video games. And I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to say here because I don't have a strict process. There's no step-by-step process, but I used to be a really big gamer. I gamed like 5 hours every day, and like I don't know how I stopped, but like 2 months ago, so kind of recently, I've like stopped the process. I basically don't play video games anymore. And I've noticed a huge free time increase, which is obviously I'm trying to fill that gap. But it's weird because when I used to play video games, I remember trying to stop and it was like I didn't know there was no other option to do. So stopping was really difficult and annoying because I just went back. It was like a drug, and I've heard that multiple times from my parents that it's like a drug. Stop playing video games is like a drug, and they explained that it's a use of energy and time, and in the end you gain literally nothing other than like I don't know, you were able to beat a child on a video game who you don't even know. So it's pretty useless when you think about it. And the way I see it is when you compare a person who plays a lot of video games and a person who plays sports, they both spend lots of time, they put lots of energy into their own wanted activity, and in the end, one person gets like exercise, probably more. Actually, in the end, they're really similar. That's what they call it, esports. The new sports, esports, video games is a sport. In the end, all it is something to kill your free time. But video games is one of those less worth it because it's a bunch of stimulation, a bunch of energy. It really makes the rest of life boring. And so it's too interesting. It's too much fun, and that's what drugs are really. So it makes sense, I guess, what my parents said, how it's like a drug and you shouldn't do it. But I don't know. Getting really into it, I realize now it's like such a waste of energy. I'm thinking back, like I remember I'd play video games, and when I went upstairs, I was like, it was I turned the switch off. Like when I'm downstairs, I'm energetic and all that crazy stuff, and the second I went upstairs, it's just I turn it off, and I'm just like I'm saving my energy for my next gaming session. So I reserved all my energy just for gaming, and that was just such a waste because you can't like do anything else other than game. It's like literally, it's so bad. And the reason I stopped was like not intentional by any means. I mean, I've obviously chosen to stop playing now. I could obviously go back if I want to, but it really started because one thing I had my track season, which was like exercise. Basically, every day after school, I have to spend like an extra hour and a half at school to do running, and that was actually a lot of fun. It's very tiring, but it's still a lot of fun. So that took away a solid chunk of my time, and really I didn't play as much because the second I got home, it was already pretty late. It was like time to eat dinner, which by then I usually don't play video games past like 6 or something. But by that time, it was already like a weekend video game hobby because when I get home, there's also no one else playing. One of the big reasons to play video games is because everyone else is playing at the time. But when I got home, by that time, there's no one on, so I just didn't feel like playing myself. But the biggest thing that got me out of video games was the fact that I got sick twice in like 2 weeks. And my mom said, "Don't go to the basement. This is where my video game, this computer that I'm recording on, this is my video game setup." And she said, "Don't go to the basement because it's cold. There's probably mold. It's not healthy. All the blah blah. Blah. I don't remember anymore." She just said a bunch of stuff about how the basement is bad for being sick, and I didn't really care about that at first, but I still didn't go to the basement as much because I didn't like it down here when I was sick because it was kind of uncomfortable down here. It's like cold and all that, so when you're sick, it isn't actually good. So I went down here less, but still went down here a bit when I was sick. But then I think I got sick or allergies came in. Either way, in the second week, I got like sick again, or it was allergies, probably allergies. But either way, it turned off the video game appeal because I just didn't want to go to the basement since I was feeling so dead. So then I just spent all my time upstairs doing I don't know what anymore. Basically, I mean TV, that's still pretty bad, but may as well watch a movie instead of playing video games. But that's what I did. I slowly just cut off video games all because I got sick for a solid 2 weeks, And then when I got unsick, I just came down here. I opened a video game and I just thought it wasn't appealing anymore. And then I just like, there's some moments when you just look back at what you've done and you're just like, why did I do that? And I went onto the video game. I'm like, I was really into this at some point, and then at that point I wasn't. And I'm at the point I'm about to go to high school. Middle school is about to be over in 1 week, and I know my brother stopped playing video games around high school, so I know this is probably just a time, and that's probably a really good thing to stop playing around high school because this is when things get really busy. But overall, video games just it flew away. It's just a slowly thing that went away after I got sick. So if you want to try stop playing video games, get sick for 2 weeks, or just try cutting it off. Get a third person view of yourself. Just think you could be spending your time and energy on something else that actually helps you. You could exercise, a sport. You can get plenty of happiness out of that. And it may not be as thrilling as a video game, but you can think about the benefits. And really, it's just more worth than video games. Because really, anything is more worth than video games. And now, after you stop playing video games, you find something else to do with your free time. Maybe you can record a YouTube video if you really feel like it. Because that's what I'm doing.